Okay, well, welcome back. This is xplane 11. A little bit different to 12. I thought I'd do 11 purely because I've got a lot more stuff set up in 11. I'll just go through what this has got in it before we go anywhere. So this has Orbex scenery in it. Also has Heathrow, where we are now, is a payware airport that I did buy. This has got a few extras in there. It has Sam's Suite. We have lots of different things. So I'm going to start setting things up and go through things. So this is we get into the immersion gameplay. I normally use two monitors, but this flicks up issues when in xplane 11 always has done. It flicks up issues when you try to dual monitor it, especially when you're recording. It just gives you a blank screen now and again. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this all on a single monitor. So it's going to get congested on the monitor, so you're going to see lots of different things. Sam will tuck away in the corner sometimes. It has its funny things. Sam also works in xplane 12. Obviously the jetways won't, because the jetways are already moving. The whole reason for Sam really was to get the jetways in xplane 11 to work, which we didn't do. So you have to get your plane shut down. Engines shouldn't be running, I think. Yeah, engines are not running. The turbines are ready. The pressure's there. Sometimes this works, sometimes it don't. I do get confused starting this up. There is a little shortcut you can do to get it going, so hopefully it'll work. If not, I'll sort of edit the program out a little bit just so we can move on, because I don't really want to spend time trying to set things up. It's not so much really about the flight today, but about all the bits I've got on here. So if I go into this little downloady area, as you can see, I've got the base plugin, which is the Sam Suite. Then you've got World Jetways, which will bring the jetway in when we do that. I'll show you that in a minute. Then we have Follow Me. Now, Follow Me is great. You get a truck in front of you, and he'll take you to the runway, or he'll bring you out from the runway when you land. But it has a few issues where I put in exactly where it's telling me to go, and he goes in a different direction. So it's not 100%. Ground service is what we're going to see straight away. That's basically all your catering, your passengers, your loading. So that's great. Global trees just makes your trees a little bit better. Seasons, it's a long process of trying to download this, and I've been doing the flight for 3 hours and it still hadn't done it by then. I had to shut down, so it doesn't hold it where it is. And obviously develop a pack if you want to move your jetways around or whatever you want to do. I've not really messed around with that yet. I'm not had a look in there properly. So that's basically everything you get. So the only one left I've got to get will be airport vehicles, which changes the airport vehicles, and you can set up liveries and what have you. So that's just Sam's Suite. So we'll just, if you X that'll take you back to here. What I can also do, I'm flying not the Zebo mod, but I'm flying just the standard Laminar 737-800. We'll take a quick look outside. External circle. Just move those out of the way. Move Avi tab out of the way. Avi tab I can shut down for a minute. Don't need that just yet. So we're on a KLM flight. As you can see with the towaway, we've got different towaways on here. This has better pushback, which is a lot better than the standard pushback you get from xplane. So it's being it's a payware airport, what you're getting is, let me just go free cam, might be easier, is you're getting a lifelike-ish better Heathrow, yeah. And these are all marked up HSBC. You can see a lot of static aircraft. I was trying to get to my map, I couldn't get my map open. What I've also got is AI aircraft flying around. So you should have aircraft flying around. So I'm going to try that. So it's called X Life. So if you hit that button, that should either turn it on or turn it off. So we turn it on, it should freeze you. And then what we should do is get a loading, please wait. I'm open. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've got plane, so it's loading, please wait. You load that in, all that does is it gives you moving aircraft around your airport. xplane 11 is basically all static, so It takes a little while to load in. You'll have planes taking off. You can set it up. I can't actually get in there, man, why it's froze. You'll have planes flying around. You can set up if you want them to be landing and taking off every 2 minutes or 1 minute, whatever you want to do, however busy you want to make it. I'm hoping this loads in properly. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so now it's just loading in extra craft, which it will move around. Move around. So it's now put aircraft down, so you'll have aircraft landing, taking off. So that's X-Life really. You can actually set up an ATC. As you can see, the aircraft over there is now moving, where nothing was moving before, so he's going off. So you've got another plane here moving. So it's going to get quite busy, because if I do go into X-Life itself and go into the settings, I've got it set really, really high to keep it busy. That's just to give it a little bit more freedom. You'll have planes getting to the runways, coming in and taking off. But this is a payware one. When I bought this for mini builds, jetways weren't moving. I didn't have Sam Suite at the time, and jetways weren't moving. I thought, oh, I've just spent good money on this, and it doesn't do what I want it to do. So now these do work, because you have to get Sam Suite. Sam Suite makes them work. There is an auto gate plugin you can get, but that's a bit more comprehensive. So as you can see, look, it's just brought everything back to life in your airport. You do have all the proper buildings in this version, so which is really, really good. As you can see, the trees out here look quite good. I haven't got X Forest in here, I don't think. I've also, because it's a lovely day, improved the clouds as well, because xplane 11, the clouds are awful, so I've managed to get an artwork down. Here goes, there's a plane coming in now. I've improved a lot of stuff with this game. You've got Sam. Fly with Lure is what I tend to do. I do have a macro for start FX passengers. If you use the laminar planes, you don't get nothing going on inside. So to give it the Zebo mod feel, I'll click that. This just adds a little bit more to, so you've got a bit of life going on in the plane. So when that does finally come in, it's a bit like the rest. It takes a while, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kev from the flight deck. On behalf of X-Plane Addicted and Passenger Effects, welcome aboard.
Okay, so with X Passenger, you can go down to the announcers, and you can just, you've got your welcome aboard, you can just click on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, which means that smoking is not allowed anywhere in the aircraft, including the toilets, which are protected by smoke detector alarms. As a reminder, the non-smoking sign will remain illuminated throughout the trip.
So yeah, so you got all that going on. This is what I don't like about X-Plane. You have to shift around with his mouse a little bit. There you go, he's off to take off. Another one coming now, so it gets quite busy, especially Heathrow, of course. So a lot of British Airways around here. So there should be others around there as well somewhere, but mainly British Airways. You've got a Virgin sitting there, so you've got plenty of different planes around. Right, I can hear probably one landed, so there you go. Another one just coming in and landing. So the scenery is great because they've given you this haze out in the thing. I've got a thing called less haze on. The other thing with xplane 11 is they give you too much haze. So like I say, I've got different plugs in here, plugins that do different things. Also got X-Route, which when you hit these runways, it tells you you're on taxiway, blah 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 blah. So we can just minimise that for now because that will automatically do stuff as well. So that is basically everything in Sam Suite, or what I've put on. Sam Suite has its own thing and you can just reset flight, blah 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 blah. So we'll just go through this. It will set me up for a pre-flight and everything else and tell me what, and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Better pushback works through here. Everything works through here. Actually, it'll be fine. So if I just click through, you'll see pre-flight. We can set the jetway. If you click it, I've got to pre-start the flight first. Departure, push back and follow me. En route is a little game. Don't worry about that. And then you've got arrival and parking at the other end. So, and it tells me basically I've got to go back here. So you go reset. You have to watch that. Oh, another one. That little plug-in is absolutely brilliant because it just brings it to life a little bit. Because your last thing you want to be is just flying around on your own in a sense. Okay, so if I can now start pre-flight, it's going to ask me how do I want to set up stairs, jetway. I had a bit of bother with this the other day where I couldn't get the jetway to release, but we'll try it anyway. So AFC very long. Not really sure what that is, but don't worry about that. So we're just going to go jetway. Let's just see what happens. Plug down. Okay, so you can choose between the two, whichever one you want. We'll go with that one. And as you can hear, it's starting off and it's moving, and it will connect to your plane. The whole reason I moved back to xplane 11 from xplane 12 is that Orbex is flawless in xplane 11, not so much in xplane 12. It's not really designed for xplane 12. But it works brilliantly in here. But I do have a few issues with the north. As you can see, the door's open now. Right? You can see the plane's now lining up ready to take off. Yeah, Orbex works great in here. I do have some draw issues, but I can live with them because they don't really affect my flight. So we're going to fly into Scotland because the north is the latest one I've got, and I haven't done a video on getting up to the north and all the lovely scenery. So basically going back to, let's just go with ground service. So we're at ground service. I've connected my jetway. As you can see, these are already here waiting, and the doors are open, which I do love because it does make a bit more. So in this ground service, what you're going to do, you're going to go, right, okay, we'll have that amount of passengers. I will probably have to fast track this because it will take so long. And you want catering, we'll have the cleaning being done, we'll have baggage, cargo we won't worry about. Let's refuel her quite a little bit. So, and then what you do, you can obviously manually do this or auto do it. Hit your load button, I'll pull that to one side. You'll start to see all my stuff is coming over. Here come the crew. Sky chefs are coming in for your food, and now you can see the little man there sticking your baggage on. I'm hoping that xplane 11's behaving with my monitor off because I did have a few issues with it. It might be juddery when I'm moving this around a little bit, but I'll have to sort of live with that. The man there, as he normally does, pretty much throwing the gear on. Right, go passenger view, and I go, no passenger view, that one. Go to the front view, which is always a good view. You can see he's now bringing your stuff out. Everything is happening, everything's come to life. It just adds to the immersion of it all. So the engines are off. You have to have the engines off for all this to happen, of course, because you don't want to hurt your people. So just dragging this back a little bit. As you can see, this is how long it's going to take. So the cargo's finished, fuel's finished, 2 minutes 34 for that, 3 minutes for that, 4 minutes for your passengers. So the whole process is going to be 5 minutes. What you can do while that's all going on is either sit and admire the scenery, which is really, really nice, or you can go in and start setting up your flight plan. I've already forgotten where I'm going because I've not remembered it. So flight plan. at the moment they can't hear you purely because you've got no power going for the communications yet. But while this is all going, you won't have. So you're going to follow a flight plan. So it works differently to 12 because if you come out of this, you'll lose everything. So it's a one-off setup. So and you have to set this every time. So you'd say, right, I'm flying a Boeing. They want your model number. You can type in 737. 737-800, just a straight normal one, so we ain't got to worry about anything else. And we're in a KLM. Flight number 258 will do. Airport we're going to. Right. So, what you can do, Abby Tab is quite good for this. You can just toggle your tablet back on. Blah, so EGPF. So you can just close that down and we'll just put in there EGPF. EGPF we'll try. And then we'll do a 30,000. Sometimes this works really well, sometimes it don't. You can, if you know your routes where you're going on your map, you can put in your shids and stars, and flights or whatever you want to do, your airways. But I tend to just go direct, so you press that. So the flight plan's ready. Whatever you do, do not come out of there because you'll lose that. It's ticked so it knows you've got a flight plan. You've also got in xLife flight plan in there. Somewhere there is. And then you'll just say EGPF. Not worked this one yet. I don't know. EGPD. Let's try that. And then flight level. It's 300. And then you can just send that and that will tell you when that's done. As you can see, things do slow down when it's doing this, so it's just so you can do it. So the flight info is successful, blah 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 blah, use menu, blah blah blah. I just totally close that. It's just so I don't get too many issues later on. I tend to leave that down there out the way. As you can see, the baggaging's all done. What we're waiting for now is go back to pre-flight. Okay, it's cleaning's got 50 seconds and it's just basically the buses coming along and dropping your passengers off. Although these guys are moving, when passengers come, unfortunately they're static, so they don't move, you don't see them climbing on, but we won't actually see them because they're actually coming through the jetway, so a bit different, but you got everything else there. Okay, so once we're happy, you can, if you want, fast track, and that will bring the whole thing to an end. Possibly do that, actually. Let's just fast track it. Okay, so door shut. So his Sunless ground service is finished. Everything's driving off. That's the problem with sound, it's so big, it takes up most of your screen. And the truck's going to disappear in a minute. So that's SAM Suite, I mean that's what it's basically called, and this is free. The SAM itself, the whole thing is free to download. I got it mine from Yorbex, which was a free download, but everything in there is payware. So apart from things at the bottom, like the trees and barns, they are free. But your Follow-Me, the ground services and vehicles you have to pay for. Better Pushback is free, and it's a lot better. I do love Better Pushback because you actually plan your own pushback. So everything's disappeared. We've got everyone on board. Loading is finished, and then if you go to start flight, you're into your next bit. But before we do that, what we do need to do is, I'm hoping this works. Let's get the engines running. It takes a little while. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Once you start all that up, we can now start working. Yeah, they're starting.
KLM 258, London Heathrow, altimeter 2992.
London Heathrow, altimeter 2992, KLM 258.
You have to all manually do this, not like it is in xplane 12. I mean, it's just a little bit more, I'd say, basic than xplane 12.
KLM 258, cleared IFR2, Glasgow, as filed, maintained, flight level 300, squawk 4700.
Cleared IFR2, Glasgow, as filed, maintained, flight level 300, squawk 4700, KLM 258.
I don't know if that's going to come away. Yeah, there we go. So now we can move the jetway out the way. I do like the fact that they are working in xplane 11. And all the signage. Like I say, it's a payware airport, so this wasn't working when I first had it, and I uninstalled it because it didn't seem any real reason for having it. Plenty of planes going around, which is good. It's got nice and busy. I do like to see it nice and busy. What we can do now is we can actually get this bit composed.
KLM 258, runway 27, right, taxi via Charlie, Bravo, Hotel, Alpha 3, hold short of runway 27, right.
Runway 27 right, taxi via Charlie, Bravo, Hotel, Alpha 3, hold short of runway 27 right, KLM 258.
Okay, so we're basically getting set up for a flight. That will always be 470, 4701 to blah blah blah. So it seems to be set on. Actually, it's operating okay today. There are a few glitches in xplane 11, which really tick me off at times. But it's very strange, I hadn't had to set any of this up, which was odd. Normally I do. Let's get the dome on. We've got some nice light. We'll set all this up in a minute. What we're going to do, so the wizard is now done, so that won't show up until we hit the runway. So we're going to go push back. And then we're going to plan our pushback. And this is what I do love about this, is that you can actually plan your pushback. So you can, so we know which way we've got to head. So I mean, it's basically set, but I'm going to go here instead. So go there and hit enter.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
As you can see, Sam's disappeared for a minute because it's allowing me to do other things. So while we're waiting for that, we can start getting things all turned on, get things set up, ready. So what I also love is my multi-panel works for this really well as well. So we know they're going to go to 30,000. I'll say it works really well. I do have issues sometimes. We get the heading on already, so we don't know what the heading is yet. I'll get the takeoff speed up and running. It's normally around about 230, 235. That'll start flashing if you don't get. Flaps to 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention. And now we invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the takeoff. The captain has made tower communications available. So if you would like to monitor the air traffic system, just tune your radio to channel 9. And your headsets are in the seat pocket in front of you. We'll give you a little more information about our service plan for our flight as soon as we are in the air. Thank you and again, welcome aboard.
Okay, yeah, so that's what you've got in the place of Zebo. So you've got that for just your standard laminar. So that is a really good plugin. If you're new to xplane 11, 12, I don't think it actually works in xplane 12, but I know it definitely works in this version. So I think you can fly with lure. You have to get a different lure as well, so you have to get it loaded up there. You go into your macros and then you'll see start passenger FX. I've got simple ground service, which is similar to the ground service, but I prefer the SAM version. So, but in there you can have service air. So those, if you haven't got sound services, are great things to have. Definitely get X Life, that is most important. Give you that, as you can hear the planes flying around you, taking off, doing different things. Okay, so we're all set now, ready for pushback. I am hoping that, because I'm not using the other thing, that fuel truck did fill us up. So obviously you've got your FMC. If you want an FMC fly, you just set them up in here. I tend to do, I'm doing ATC because I do tend to prefer flying ATC. So now we're basically ready, so we can now call in the tug. So we can go back to Sam, and that will load back in. And we go back to pushback, and then start pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And what you should see is a tow coming in. As you can see over there, you've still got planes taking off and doing what there needs to do. It does get a little bit noisy. And you'll see these clamp around the wheel. It's very good. Just adds a little bit more to the immersion when you're seeing this kind of stuff going on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
And this is basically what I want to showcase today, is all the bits that go into around the airport. So it's not just purely jump in, fly, and away you go. And the nice thing about this is I can just sit back, hands off everything, and he will steer me out. In xplane 11, when you use their one, you have to steer the plane if in the Zubo mod. I've used the Zubo mod for this, and it works perfectly in here as well. You can watch it from the cockpit, you can watch it from this view. It's totally your choice.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, this is where we find out whether this is working.
Starting pushback.
It does look like I do need to do a bit of work on this plane's way too close.
Undo it by lifting the buckle flap. You should keep your seatbelt done up whenever you are seated, just in case we come across any unexpected turbulence. In your seat pocket, you will find a safety briefing card that shows the brace position and other important information on what you should do in the unlikely event of an emergency. Please take a moment to read it before we take off. The crew will now show you where the emergency exits are. Please look to where the crew is pointing to find your nearest exit. A good way to remember is to count the number of seats between you and the exit.
I've probably got the sounds too high.
If you have to evacuate, you must leave all cabin baggage behind. Remember that in an emergency, it is the crew that will be most helpful to you, so follow their instructions. Should oxygen be required, a mask will appear from above you. Pull it down firmly, put it quickly over your nose and mouth, and tighten the strap. Once the mask is working properly, you can then help others, including children. Your life jacket is located within easy reach under your seat. To put it on, place the life jacket over your head and clip the waistband at the front. It has 2 red tags and a mouthpiece for insulation, a whistle and light for attracting attention. You must only inflate your life jacket as you leave the aircraft. To prepare for takeoff, ensure that your seat is upright and your tray table is stowed away and the window shade is open. Finally, check that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight. Civil aviation law requires that you comply with all safety notices and signs on the aircraft. Smoking in any part of the aircraft is prohibited and smoke detectors have been fitted. If you're not sure about anything we have told you, please check the safety card in your seat pocket. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
So you've got all the lovely sounds of an airport going on. I'm probably shouting over the noise, but it definitely sounds noisy to me. You've actually got planes taking off. Right, there was a little bit squiffy bit that was going on that I didn't notice, so I just want to see what this does. So it seems to be taking me in a funny direction here. But normally better pushback is really, really good. So he's leading me in the wrong way, or is he just taking me back and then resetting me back? He may be resetting me back up, so we'll see what he does. Interesting. So it's probably something I've done wrong. So you can click follow me. For the life of me I can't remember. So I'm going to try this one because normally it sets you up for the right one. You can click ignore ACF limits if you want. There we go, I think it's setting us back up. And then you can just get further down here, hit start guidance. And what should happen is a truck should appear eventually. So far I've had nothing but grief with this where it's always behind me, so once you're happy with that, I mean you can stop pushback anytime you want, but let's go in front of me. There you go, there's the Mr. Follow Me. You can worry about this halfway when you get into the thing. When you're doing pushback,
KLM
don't turn these on.
258, runway 27, right,
Operation
taxi Charlie,
complete.
Bravo,
Set
Hotel,
parking
Alpha,
brake.
Alpha, 3, hold short of runway 27, right.
Runway
Disconnecting
27,
toes,
right,
stand
taxi
by.
Charlie, Bravo, Hotel, Alpha, Alpha, 3, hold short of runway 27, right, KLM 258.
Alright, A3, so we got A3. A3, so that's, so I'll just redo the, let's see how successful we are. Let's just get better pushback over than we first. Another nice thing I like about better pushback is in xplane 12 the truck goes all over
Until
the
it's
place.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand
This guy
signal on the
pulls
left.
away.
We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
So then I think better pushback is better for that. You'll see him move away and then we can make a move. So I can now shut down Sam to give me a little bit. There you go, he's just gone. Straight away, he's off. So we can just release the parking brake. We'll probably start rocking forward. Now you can get all your bits on. Like I say, if you put these on whilst he's towing you, you'll get him do nothing but moan at you about turning them off because you're blinding him. It's quite good that way. So, yep, I'm on the yoke. So we're going to line up behind Mr. Guy here. He should start to move. There you go, he's starting to go. He should take you to the runway. I've had a few issues where he hasn't done that. And you also have to mind your speed because he does slow down at times. So you have to try and keep a little bit of a distance between you and him. I should run over the top of him. And we've got a baby crying on board. And music playing. This all comes with the PFX. That's all in that. You'll get, maybe you get some ATC or you get a radio cut in eventually. It does silly things like that, but some of it I just don't think are good. But on the whole, it just adds to, if you're flying in these planes, you don't want to use the Zebo all the time. It just gives you that little bit more. X-Life just gives you these moving planes on the airport as well. I am running a bit low on FPS at the moment. We'll see if that improves. That's purely down to the airport and everything that I've got running, so it should improve. Airplane taking off. And as you can hear there, we've got people on board, which gives you a little bit more immersion. That's all it's about, give you a bit more immersion. I'm hoping my FPS does improve though. There you go, he's all set up there. There will be some conflicts. Ooh. Try and not move around so much while this FPS is so low. I think we may have a success here with this follow me today. Yeah, we're going to bump into this guy, he's not going to stop. That's what I do love about this little add-on, little plug-in they've got, is you get all this live action going on. I do need that to climb above 30 FPS, so stop some of the drop out. It's because I'm recording as well, and I'm going to hope again to do this in 4K resolution. I did my last train video in 4K, that seemed to go well, so been doing them in 1080p, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this out and see if I can get a 4K one done. It takes a bit longer to get it downloaded to YouTube, but you'd expect that really. Sam you can pull up anytime you want, just go into your plugins menu and do that. So where xplane 12 falls down, xplane 11 seems to pick up. I still think xplane 11 is better than 12, although it's a little bit more archaic in its ATIS in that. Didn't take me long to get used to it again. It just adds to everything that you're doing. The clouds I've got all sorted out. Like I say, I had to sort the clouds out because they don't look that great in xplane 11, the standard, the default ones. So all I did was I added in new clouds, less haze. I'm on real weather, so the weather is you just don't know what you're going to get really. Looks to me like it's going to take off again. Yeah, so the weather is going to be whatever it's going to be. It'd be interesting to see how that all sets up. So we could be going into an overcast area, which makes landing a bit more tricky, but you can't always do fair weather. Nightlight night flying in Orbex is absolutely fantastic. I do love it. I do like doing night flights. So you have to keep adjusting your speed for this guy, so it's the way it is. On the odd occasion I've had to brake quite sharp. He'll disappear once we hit the runway, so but he's keeping a distance between us and the plane in front. By the sounds of it, we've got another plane behind us. Sometimes they come through you, that is a bit of a letdown. Let's just have a look outside actually. Must just purely be these front planes over here that are firing up. So you've got all this lovely scenery. I mean, I do love this airport. Easy to find as well when you get payload ones. They're slightly different colour everything else, so you can find them. I might start drifting off a little bit. X-plane does have its quirks. Sometimes I'm having to reload the plane. You do get the odd thing happening, but all in all, I have to say I actually prefer this to X-plane 12, which is the newer version. I think it's because I can do more with X-plane 11. X-plane 11's been out for quite a few years, so far more mods, endless mods for this. They're still supporting it, updating it. I mean, there's still so many people who use X-plane 11 and probably prefer it to 12. 12 had a few improvements, but I would say out of the two, 11 I prefer. If you could merge the two together, it'd be absolutely perfect. I'm not really sure why Orbex doesn't work so well in 12, because they're basically the same setup, but it just seems to stall a lot in there, so I put it back into, I reinstalled 11, put it all back in here, and it was quite flawless. Although today I do seem to be struggling with FPS. Normally it's running quite high, and we'll see how we go on. Nothing too severe at the moment. Normally it's around about the 40-50s at this stage, but we'll see what happens when we take off. It's probably because I'm at this airport as well. But the other airplane must have pulled off somewhere. I can't see him anymore. Okay, we are coming to the runway. I'm glad this has decided to work today. Yeah, so of course you'll be going up. As you can see, it takes quite a while to get out of the airport, which is true to life. It's what I like about it. It is more truer to life. Camera angles I do believe are better than Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I never got on with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some people might. I guess if you start with it, you'll find that's the way to go, and you'll find X-plane an issue. Because I started in X-plane, camera angles are better, mods are better. You got more freedom, I think, to improve the simulator itself. So that's what I do like about it. Weather looks quite cloudy, sort of overcasty, so that should be interesting. Okay, take the power off, get rid of the brake, because there you go, Mr. Follow Me's disappeared now, so I'm hoping once we get round here the FPS will improve so I can get a good takeoff. A bit rough on the brakes there, but I think once we get away from this airport we'll be fine.
KLM 258, contact tower on 118.505.
Contact tower on 118.505 KLM
You could roll past as
258.
well as
Tower KLM 258.
KLM 258, fly heading 330, runway 27, right, you're cleared for takeoff.
330, get that sorted out first. Okay, we've got 330, coming around, get a little bit more.
KLM 258, fly heading 330, runway 27, right, you're cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 330, runway 27 right, KLM
Approaching
258.
27 right.
That's extra cutting in, telling us. It tells us we're on the runway in a minute.
On runway 27 right.
Feedback is correct. Report ready for expansion. I just confirmed the opening to ground departure. On deck, drop the point. 34.60.
It should tell us if we're on the runway.
Shannon, good morning. United 126 is passing flight level 287 for 170. With direct to left. United 126, Shannon, good morning. Still on 170, passing flight level 170. Contact on foot. Shannon, United 126, just want to confirm the expedition KLM 123. That's A from 126. Expect that and call Dublin now on 129.1.
KLM 258, contact center on 135.95.
Contact center on 135.95 KLM 258. Center KLM 258.
KLM 258, London Heathrow, altimeter 2992.
London Heathrow, altimeter 2992 KLM 258.
So we're now
KLM
heading.
258, fly heading 330.
Fly heading 330 KLM 258.
Already on it.
KLM 258, London Heathrow, altimeter 2992.
London Heathrow, altimeter 2992 KLM 258.
Clouds are a lot better in this one.
KLM 258, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation KLM 258.
And what you can do, you can Obviously put your heavy tab on, find out where you're going, make sure you're going the right way. And if you want, you can pop it on there like that, because I'm not using a map. So that's showing us where we are. We know we're heading in the right direction, so I'll just get the heavy tab on there. And we go passenger view. Those lovely clouds, I do like them. And these are added in, these are someone's reshade of them. You do have to keep that up, so I don't know if I can make this smaller. So it's pretty much it, and I tend to keep that in the bottom corner. It's a cloudy day, so we're not going to get to see much scenery at the moment. And you've got different views. This reshading of the sky has been redone as well in the cloud artwork. So it gives you a more truer colour. Dusk is absolutely fantastic flying around. Can I get the map? Aha, there it is. Right. So this is your map. As you can see, the amount of planes around in the sky. And this is what this X-Life does. It gives you planes flying around, so you don't have to all the other stuff on. And then you can just clear that, sit back and enjoy. You can either watch from this view or watch from the pilot's view.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed the altitude of 10,000 feet. All electronic devices may now be switched off from airplane mode. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi. Please see a flight attendant for more information.
And there we are flying. Just make sure everything there's done. That we pull down to there. Set brake. And it's Bonnie, Scotland. Here we come. Right, okay, now we're getting a break in the clouds. So you can get to see how heavy tab works. How Orbex works with the clouds. And it gives you just that realism that you just wouldn't get under the standard game. What I do love about this game, so I'm up to 40, so I'm struggling a little bit with FPS, but it's purely down to recording. It just works so well. And this is why I went back to xplane 11. I just find it a little bit better. I'm not so keen on the ATC, but I'd have liked the newer ATC in here, but you can't have everything. But these clouds are a lot better than they were with the laminar version. They're a little bit more fluffier, a little bit more realistic. You can fly through them. When you get close to them, they actually spin away when you spiral away. You can see down here. I'll go back through the plane. Which I set it up so you're outside the window, so you've got no reflection. Also, what you do like about this, you'll get airflow off of here, and you also get the vapour from here, so you can see the vapour here coming on, which is nice. And you've got your normal haze you'd get during the time, where you wouldn't be able to see this normally. But this is a showcase of really the ground services and everything like that. I don't think there's anything else in here I can show you that I've got at the moment. Sci-Tech panels obviously for my flight panel, so you can reload those from different better pushback I do love. Yes, where you go into that base bit and you change bits around. But yeah, this is the scenery I wanted. Xplane 12. If Xplane 12 was not messing around so much, I would have probably carried on with Xplane 12. Xplane 11 is picking up where Xplane 12 can't. FPS is climbing slowly as we move away, which is good. We're up and away. We've probably got well over an hour to get to Glasgow. I will get an error message saying that something's not loaded correctly when we get there, because I don't know what went wrong with that download, but I've downloaded it twice now. I get the same error, so I know it's probably something to do with the download itself. It says it doesn't load incorrectly, but I haven't seen too many issues. And I do love this. This has all been recreated, this horizon, with the cloud plugin, so it just gives you a better horizon. So we're still climbing. I did put that in. No, I didn't. Always forget something. That doesn't need to be on. Yeah, so it's not a bad little flight. I've tried Sim Heaven scenery in Xplane 12. It's a little bit better, but I still don't think it's as good as Orbex. Orbex is far superior. I will be landing blind because I don't have a map to see where I'm coming in, so, but I did test it yesterday, it worked pretty well. I do love all this break up cloud and just the quiffy bits, and they just look a lot softer than the original. This gives it more realism. I'm probably going to have to set up a few more camera settings for it. The only other thing I can show you is there is a plugin called Walkarounds, but you can do it. If I try and move forward, open the door, I just walk forward. Oops, wrong one. You can walk the entire length of the plane. You do have to keep messing around with bits and pieces, and you can just sit where you want, do what you want. So just to show it's possible. Back into the cockpit. I did leave the door open, but it doesn't matter, there's no one on board. And that really is Xplane 11 in a nutshell. I'm hoping the video comes out really well, because at least I come up with a novel idea of turning off another monitor, just so you can see this. But if I want to call the map up, I'm just going to hit map, and I can find out roughly where I am. So it's probably way too big. I suppose it tells you roads and stuff, juice up down the side there. And then it's just showing you where we're flying, and where we're flying to, where all your waypoints are, airways are. It'll tell you where the airports are. If you get close to an airport, seeing around here, you can click on it and it'll tell you what the runway number is and everything like that. It is a handy little thing. Well, it looks like we're miles from it, so I'm just going to pull that out. Okay, cloud seems to have disappeared. Like I say, I'm using what we call real weather. So cloud is behind us. We're into a nice open bit, so you can get to enjoy the scenery. It's probably somewhere like Derby or Leicester, something like that, I imagine. And you can use Avitab for that. Oh, Birmingham, Coventry. So there is a payware airport for Birmingham, which
KLM 258, fly heading 340.
Fly heading 340, KLM 258.
KLM 258, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation, KLM
this is
258.
probably going to be a long video if I carry on most of the flight. We're into an hour already. So I'd like to get to the north so you can see the scenery that I downloaded down. I can zoom out there, you can see it's still quite a way. We're off to Glasgow, which is going to be up here somewhere. Once we get into there, you can see all the planes are around. You can actually maximise this. You can. I've got all the airports turned on. You can turn on different things, airstrips, heli seaports, all these different things. Waypoints you can put on there, points of interest, and stuff like that. You can change how you see stuff as well. And then just get back to there, that'll get you to where you are. So we know we're heading towards Lichfield, should be just down here somewhere. We're basically flying over it. I love this baby, you don't even get that gazebo, I've never seen that gazebo. So yeah, you've got a little town, Lichfield I think is there. Just this scenery, when you've used this scenery you just can't fly without it when you go back to the laminar version. I've had a look at satellite imagery and it does look like it's from satellite, so I know it's pretty realistic. We've got Derby on the right, heading towards Stoke. Normally what I would have these on the second monitor so I can see them on a different monitor and have this screen completely clear, but you can make that even smaller. There's also a 747-400 in here, which is a double decker. And that is a bugger to fly. But I didn't want to go through that one, I've got loads of setup for it. I may do that in another video, just to show you around the plane. Still trying to figure that plane out. I think I had a few issues which was causing it to not work correctly, so I've still got some layout. You can also download the A320 for this, things like that, but all comes at a price. So if you buy a plane it's normally around about 80 quid. You can get other planes for about 15 quid, but the top notch planes are in the 80 quid. It's more than the game's worth, so I don't think I'd bother with that. These planes are just as well, you just look for downloaded stuff just to make it a little bit more realistic. I reckon we must be getting close to, there we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. You may now remove your seatbelts.
I think the difference in here, some of these buttons like your attendant don't tend to work, so everything else seems pretty much okay. What I didn't set Zilkston. Naughty me. Not too bad in this one because it doesn't punish you for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be serving you with cold drinks and a light snack.
So she just enunciates as she wants to. I just tend to leave it doing the same thing. You can open up the menu and do your own if you want to. In the announcements you can do different ones, it's like remind everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, which means that smoking is not allowed anywhere in the aircraft, including the toilets, which are protected by smoke detector alarms. As a reminder, the non-smoking sign will remain illuminated throughout the trip.
There is a deluxe model to this, which you can buy. And you can do volumes, whatever you want to do. Disable ATC or whatever you want to do with it. So there's plenty in there to do. But this is a free version of this, so I'm not sure what the deluxe version gives you. I've got to YouTube that, find out, see if it's worth it. There's other ones here, duty-free collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big favor to ask. If anyone who is in an aisle seat in economy, we have a person who's very claustrophobic and she is in a window seat. If you are willing to move from an aisle seat to a window seat, it would help if you were around row 37. They are in 37A and B. If anyone would give up their aisle seat, a couple could do it to move to an ABC out of an aisle and a middle. If you would help these people out in 37A, please do so. Thank you so much.
So yeah, you've got all these ones. They're just enough there to keep you busy. So you've got a missing watch, in-flight magazine. You've even got an emergency one if you decide you want to put on failures, and yeah, and you can do different things, which is good. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what deluxe gives me. I'm going to have a look at that, find out how much it is. If it seems worth it, then I will. But if it doesn't, I'll probably wouldn't. I mean, mainly Orbx is what I'm running. I wanted to set this up so Orbx was running fine. I've been running low on FPS, but it seems to be okay. It seems to be running pretty okay on that. I really don't understand why it doesn't run in 12. In 12, it basically it glitches a lot. It breaks up. ATC becomes disjointed with what you're doing. I may look at it again and see if I can make some setting changes. I totally took it out. When you start loading all this stuff in, I will say if you're new to this and you decide to do all this, you'll find that when you load the sim up for the first time, it'll take anything up to 20 minutes to load in. Purely because it's got so much to look at, so much to put into the game. Mine takes about 15 minutes to load up. It can fail, it can give you errors, but I just tend to keep going until it comes in. And once you're in a game, you're normally in it for a few hours anyway, so it's not such a great issue. So if I get rid of that out of the way, so we're up towards Manchester Airport. There. Which looks really good. This is one I love because you don't get this in the normal runway, you just get a small bit around the airport. Where with this, with Orbx you get the entirety of Manchester.
KLM 258, fly heading 330.
And you must answer them.
Fly heading 330, KLM 258.
Pretty.
KLM 258, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation. KLM 258.
There's a little bit of glitching going on, but that's because the FPS is so low for some reason today. Probably because I got recording software on. But normally it's flawless, smooth, and it has been most of the way. I mean, if this was X-Plane 12, over Manchester, this would be glitching and holding up for a few seconds. You just wouldn't be getting nothing out of it. Not enjoyable. I don't mind the odd stutter, but that was stuttering all over the place. And you can obviously move this around to wherever you want it, and you want to look at it. You want to get closer in and see where you're flying to, you can do. If you want to open this up a bit bigger, you can. It just helps. So we're an hour and 10 into recording. I'm going to try and get to the north so we can show you scenery around there, because it's a gorgeous scenery. What I haven't done is looked out the other side. As you can see, you've got all the hills and peaks and everything there like that down here. Weather vanes down here, small places, it's perfect. This is what I wanted from the game, and I can't get this with X-Plane 12, which is a shame. I guess I'm going to have to wait and see if all X make this compatible with X-Plane 12 for proper. In some of the reviews, I've seen people sort of saying they don't like X-Plane 12, they've got it down, but they preferred X-Plane 11, they've gone back to it. Funny enough, so have I. For recording purposes, it's not normally a good one to use because it's a little bit jerky, so I do have to check the quality of the video. I don't know what that's done. I don't know if you get some blacking out, but when I'm going over to my recording studio, I'm just knocking noises down a little bit so you can hear me a bit better, but we'll see what happens on the recording. So if you do get some blacking out, it's just purely down to the game, not the recording quality. But this is good, I do like this scene. We're moving towards Lancaster now, so we're starting to get into where I should start getting an error message soon. But the weather looks quite clear today, which is pretty good. I was expected to be overcast. I am looking to probably download a metadata plugin at some point so I get up-to-date live weather conditions. These can be well over an hour old, it might not even be quite exact. Does seem to be getting a little bit hazier. Oh yeah, the water as well. With the cloud, the water got done as well. See that from outside the other window. When you get to the water, it's just to give it a bit more of a believable look. But for me, this type of view here is absolutely brilliant. This is what I'd expect. I do have some of my settings set high. That's actually stop for a second there. I do have some of my settings set high anyway, so I'm hoping that hasn't paused on me and you just got a pause screen. So I'll have to check that and see how that goes on. I've done that before and ended up with a pause screen. And you could hear me talking, you could hear everything going on, but it was just one screen you had paused. I will have to check that out as well. So it's a longish video. There's probably bits out of it you'll pick. As you can see, the water down here looks quite good. There we go. There's me. So we're now moving into
258. Descend and maintain. Flight level 240.
Yeah, I'll get moaned at here.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 240 KLM 258.
KLM 258. Descend and maintain. Flight level 240.
Yes, mate, setting it up.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 240 KLM 258.
So we should now be descending. We get a little plug-in come up, so it's only arrival so 5. We'll see. Yeah, so there's the light, so okay, see how this goes. So as you can see, we are descending. Yeah, everything's okay. I do love that horizon, it's so natural, that horizon. So what we are moving into is, this is sort of, as you're starting to get into the Scottish borders now. So you may see bits come up that look a bit odd, and that's basically where it hasn't loaded in certain bits. As you can see, you've got sort of hills and that getting a bit bigger now. We are glitchy a bit, but we'll see how we go on. I mean, for me this will be interesting because I'm going to be landing blind in a way. I'm relying totally on ATC. I won't have the luxury. 11,000 is going to be next, so let's get that ready at 11,000. As you'll probably see if I flick this across, you'll see I'm bringing that down to 11,000.
KLM 258. Descend and maintain. 11,000. Carlisle. Altimeter 2992.
Descend and maintain. 11,000. Carlisle. Altimeter 2992. KLM 258.
Ladies and gentlemen, those double chimes indicate we're well into our descent, so all electronic equipment, needs to be turned off at this time and safely stowed away, along with any other carry-on luggage that you may have taken out. Also, please check to make sure that your seat back is in the full upright position, and your tray table is stowed and locked in place, and your seat belt is fastened. For those of you in our business and first-class cabins, if you would make sure that you push the green airplane reset mode button, and for those of you in first class, your shoulder straps must be fastened.
So I think we're getting well into Kirkbride. So this is the north. This is the extra bit I added in for the Highlands. Those look really good actually. Never flown into Glasgow. Normally I've done Glasgow before. I don't think I have. But, normally Edinburgh. No, Glasgow I've done before. So I know there is a bit around Glasgow that's a bit iffy. But on the majority of it, I can live with it. It's not like you're there for long, so you just do your bit. But it does look good. I do like the mountains, and even when we come into Glasgow, we'll be heading towards mountains. They'll bring us down low, and you think, "Come on, mate, turn me, turn me." Around here somewhere. So there's a little way to go, but it's just going to bring us down ready. Probably about 100 miles, 80 miles. But it does look damn good, so I do like it. On the xplane 12 version, it takes you out here, brings you back in. On this one, it's more direct. That shows you. Yeah, the sea's a lot better now, where it wasn't this good before. You get to see different depths and sandbanks. Obviously a kid playing up in the back there. So we're going across just a water base for now. If I throw the map up, I don't know if I can see where the airport is at the moment. No, so we can't see it at the moment. But this is what I'd normally have on my other screen, and then I would be using that to do my landings. A lot more forests around here. This is where the tree thing comes in really good. It just builds up all the trees for it. Obviously as you get lower you do get to see more definition of it all. So this is Scotland. All your forest lands and wide open spaces and hills, everything you expect to see in Scotland. Now here you go, this is laminar scenery, this is what you get, this is your basic. So it's obviously missed this bit out. Hopefully we can get across this without crashing, sometimes it crashes. What I do need to do is check where we are there, close to there. So I think the next one will be 7,000. I'll get that ready. I'll probably get a heading change first and then they'll descend at the same time. Yeah, so Orbix, laminar. Orbix, laminar. Massive difference. And this is why I've got Orbix in here, because this is what you get on standard. Which is okay, but it's not as good as photosync. And it'll be a small square once we get over that. So these are the reasons it didn't load in very well. And I've done this twice. It takes well over 13 hours to download this in and get it extracted in. So I thought, well, I've done it twice, it's failed, no point doing it again. I'll just live with it. It's not like it's really bad. Okay, so I can use this. I didn't realise I could use this. It's the first time I've actually used that, so it's going to be a bit of a conflict because ATC is obviously going to tell me somewhere else. So that's alright, but can I get that info if I just want to look at that info? So I can, yeah. So that might even be easier. Now that's my taxi route to gate stand 28. So it'll be here, runway 5. I don't know if that can set you up really, that's the thing. You know, 70 odd FPS, that's a lot better. That's because we're still running the non-orbits around, I guess. We will be going back into orbits in a minute. Well, I tend to be at this stage anyway, looking across here, so there'll be some orbits coming up the front or something. Let me drag this now, so we're getting close, so I do want to use this map to see.
KLM 258, Crestwick altimeter 2992.
Crestwick altimeter 2992, KLM 258.
So that means we're getting close. So I do think I'm going to come in here blind. This could go very well or terribly wrong. And very shortly he's going to ask me to drop again, I'm sure.
KLM 258, fly heading 340, descend and maintain 7,000. KLM 258, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation, KLM 258.
Hasn't dropped, so I'm going to get them moaned at if I'm not dropping.
KLM 258, descend and maintain 7,000.
Descend and maintain 7,000, KLM 258.
And we can also back a little power off as well. It's down to about 260, should we do it? So we're back into Orbex country, I think. Looks of this. A lot of forest down there. As you see, we're going over the highlands.
KLM 258, fly heading 350, vectors for the visual, runway 5, descend and maintain 5,000.
Fly heading 350, vectors for the visual, runway 5, descend and maintain 5,000, KLM 258.
But those still looks like normal laminar. People didn't load it up. Who knows? Hard to tell sometimes. We'll bring that down to 250. Flaps out. I take it they're working. Okay, we don't seem to have any flaps. Get this from time to time. I can't replace the flaps. Okay, this is the flaps don't seem to be working at the moment, so we've lost flaps. Oh no, we'll start to move now. Okay, let's start working. Wait a second. We ain't too far off now. Alright, let's try and second guess him. 2,500 I reckon. Be the next drop. Well, if you stuck it this far through the video, well done. I have to make sure these have clicked because you don't get your next command if you're not careful.
KLM 258, fly heading 230, descend and maintain 2,000.
Fly heading 230. Descend and maintain 2000 KLM 258.
How's this good off? Although it's expected to see it, but obviously the orbix hasn't loaded in properly. But it's not as bad. We'll live with it for now. So we better knock that speed down a bit more.
KLM 258. Fly heading 140. Vectors for the visual. Runway 5. Descend and maintain 2000.
Fly heading 140. Vectors for the visual. Runway 5. Descend and maintain 2000 KLM 258.
I think we're at 2000 matey, so we're alright for that. Just to 180. One more flap. Dude, where are you sending?
KLM 258. Fly heading 230.
I say, where the hell are you sending us? So send us out on a loop to come back, I think.
Fly heading 230 KLM 258.
So you're sending us away from Glasgow at the moment.
KLM 258. Fly heading 320.
Fly heading 320 KLM 258.
I'm a little bit disappointed because I was expecting to see Orbeck's scenery here, not Ramanov scenery. So, yeah, something gone wrong there. I think we should make another right turn, I think. I will do though, I'll get that ready for 1,000 feet. I have a set way of doing stuff. So I'll drop it to 1,000 feet once I get onto the flight path, and then I can control it a little bit better from there once we head into the airport. We should be doing our right turn at some point. The airport is over that way somewhere. Hopefully before we hit those mountains. But a few hair and scarums with the mounts before.
KLM 258, fly heading 020.
Fly heading 020, KLM 258.
And we should have the airport in front of us somewhere. Yeah, that's in front of us. Be one more turn, right? This is obviously Glasgow, so I think the airport's over there. Yeah, there's the runway. So we've got one more turn to do. So once we get to turn onto the final, I'll start to do
KLM 258, fly heading 050, report the field in sight.
Fly heading 050, report the field in sight, KLM 258. Center, KLM 258.
KLM 258, cleared visual approach, runway 5, contact tower on 118.805.
Cleared visual approach, runway 5, contact tower on 118.805, KLM 258. Tower, KLM 258.
Taking over in a minute.
KLM 258, runway 5, you're cleared to land.
runway 5 KLM 258.
Down. Take over from here.
Too high, too high.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
KLM 258 is taxi via 5 Charlie Alpha Golf Lima.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gate taxi
welcome
via
to our
5
destination.
Charlie Alpha
For
Golf
your safety
Lima
and
KLM
comfort, we ask you to
258.
remain seated until the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please check around you for any belongings. Also, please use caution when opening the overhead lockers, as items may have shifted during the flight. Thank you for flying with us, and have a pleasant day. Flight attendants disarm doors.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up here. And we'll reload Sam, see if I can get her follow me. Oh, stay wherever you want. Let's go, I was trying to move it. Runway 5, blah 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 blah. Follow me. Right, so I need to pick. Gate 28. We've got gate 28 on here. One assumes it's stand 28. Okay, there we go. We'll go with that, and we'll follow him now. So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that, and then we can give it some roll. So I might not necessarily follow these lines.
KLM 258, contact ground on 121.705.
Contact ground on 121.705 KLM
Turn off your
258.
departure with a stage, and then you'll get into the script.
KLM 258.
Which way are you going to take it? Wait, we are going that way. Ah, there's a little smart car on it. But we'll do the follow me rather than the. Hopefully, there's not a plane there though. Sometimes you have to park where a plane is when in this state. Once again, we've got planes around us, which is good. It just adds to it when you've got all this environment noise going on. It's not a bad Lemon airport, to be quite honest. Looks pretty good. What we should do get at the end here, we'll then you'd have to get out the external view first, because we'll have a marshaller in the end. Be interesting to see if he goes left here or if he goes straight up. I've got to wait till you make your move, mate. So we're going straight up, so we'll follow him. Probably means we're going to end up double parking.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Golf Lima.
Yeah.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Golf Lima.
Gate taxi via Golf Lima KLM 258.
I'll find a feeling we're going to be double parked here.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima.
Gate taxi via Mike Golf Lima KLM 258.
Yeah, we're going to double
KLM
park.
258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima.
So we should see a marshaller appearing somewhere.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima.
There he is, right in front of us.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima.
So his beacons is on, so I'll just slow down a little bit, it's going a bit too fast.
KLM 258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima. KLM 258, hit taxi via Mike Golf Lima.
Gate taxi via Mike Golf Lima KLM 258.
Then we can cancel that out and then go back to Sam. This is normally pretty quick. Sam, main window, parking, do a little mark in progress. So what we do at this stage is kill your engine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. You may now remove your seatbelts. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
There we go, this jetway here is going to come across. And then it's going to take that amount of time, so the cargo, there was no cargo. click that down and it seems to finish it off. Get all these turned off. Didn't have those set anyway, so forgot about those. And then you reset flight. Go back here and do your pre-flight again. So got that. So then you just bung your passengers in, do your cleaning, open stuff. This is basically what you're going to do. And then that'll just get you ready for that. And also down here you can just see what's going on down here. Right, well I think I've kept you long enough for this one. As you can see, I'm double parked. If you hit the right one, do it properly. I just did it for quickness. You would be basically without that plane there. And that is it. That is flight done and dusted. Full flight. That took nearly 2 hours. But I hope that's given you an insight into what this is all about. You can see the crew down here. What we'll do is I'll pause that there. Right, well that is X-Plane 11 in a nutshell. Hopefully this video's gone good. I'm going to go and check it in a minute. Thanks for watching. If you've done the entire 2 hours, well done. If you skip forward to the bits you want to see, that's fine too. I will put on there in the in my write-up the bits to look for. Okay, so thank you, and we'll see you again soon.